And the winner of the 2012 South Australian White Pages Community and Government Award is Sandy Pitcher.
Thank you so much. This honour has come as a bit of a surprise and a bit of an emotional week for me actually, and I can hear my daughter putting out a cry or a cheer over there too. So first of all, I would like to thank Telstra and the White Pages for their support of this Community and Government Sector Award. As some of you might think, the term businesswoman as a title doesn't necessarily always fit that well with people working in the community and government sector, but it actually is really important, and this awards process, I think, shows us there's not that much recognition for people who are dedicating themselves to the community and the public sector, and that's something that I really admire about these awards. So I'm particularly grateful to Telstra and the White Pages for highlighting what so many women across Australia do in these sectors. And over the past couple of weeks, all of the finalists we've all been able to meet, and hearing the stories of other people's success and personal courage has really made that that sort of slogan that is attached to these awards, that inspiration and excellence can come from anywhere, just so fitting. So I'm really looking forward to keeping the friendships that we've already started through this process going on. I want to take the opportunity to do some thank yous. To Lois and Ingrid, who are both here, they're colleagues and friends who nominated me and started me on this journey last year, actually. My nomination was stopped because of the loss of my brother for mental illness, but I promised them I would do it again this year, and they nominated me again, and here I am. Tanya, another colleague and friend who's not only a supporter, but I'm indebted to her because she's acting in my role while I'm on maternity leave at the moment, so particularly grateful for her. And she's here representing the teams that I lead in the Department of Premier and Cabinet, and there's so many great staff that I work with, and they just represent the best of what public service is. They're committed, they're intelligent, they've got rigour, they're fun to work with, and they really care about the community, and that is why I love being a public servant, and it's great that I get to work with so many people who make work fun. Many of my friends have supported me because this award's not just about work, but it's sort of how you cope with work amongst life, I think, and Jo and Richie are both here today, thank you. And also I want to mention Sue Varden because she's been, as it came up earlier, she was the first Telstra Businesswoman of the Year 18 years ago, and I was lucky enough to be recruited by Sue when I was in London to come back to South Australia to be the Director of the Office for Women. And she's been a mentor to me ever since, so it's particularly special that Sue's in my life and in so many women here in this room in their lives. There's some other important people, but I'll come to them as I compose myself. These awards, I think, celebrate lots of things about women's achievement, and I love that we look at the whole woman in these awards. It isn't just, and that's been really brought home, it's not just about what you do at work, because it's not an end of the career award, but it's about how you balance everything and the person that you are, and that's been the inspirational thing. And I think particularly this week, as Minister Gago, who's a very inspiring woman that I get to work with as well, pointed out that, you know, the battle's not over yet, and the Prime Minister, I think, really articulated what sexism and misogyny is happening to her and as the leader of our country, and I think it is a bit of a reminder why we need these awards and why we need to support women, but also why women need to support women. So I have three things about that this process reminded me about, and I was forced to write these at about midnight last night after feeding my baby when they pointed out to us we might win and we should get a speech ready, and I didn't have one. And one of them is the importance of the work that's done in the community sector and in the public sector. One is, the next one is the personal and the work interplay. It's not just work and family, but it's work, life, community. And the third thing is just how lucky I am to have a job that I love doing and how important that is. And I said I've had a big week this week and probably a big year, to be honest. And I think that all of these events highlight what it is to be a public servant and work in the community sector. It's hard to explain what my job is. It's kind of in the middle of government, but there's so many different things that happen around, and I'm in charge of the Cabinet Office as one of the things I do, and I think that's kind of got the biggest mystery to it at all, but you can watch the thick of it or Yes Minister if you really want to get an idea of what it is that we do. But there's so many things that we need our public sector to do. My daughter started school this week, she's 5, and she's been enjoying already for years our state's great early childhood focus, and she's starting in a brilliant school that I just love. On Saturday we celebrated what would have been my brother's 35th birthday, but we lost him 16 months ago, and I just know that he had so much interplay with our health system and our mental health system. My new baby, our 4-month-old Tess, she's a fighter. She had her first open heart surgery when she was 19 days old, and she's got another big operation coming up. She's not happy about it in January. So she's going to have open heart surgery again, and nothing like working on the national health reform and then suddenly being a client of the health system day in, day out. My dad, who's here today, he's undergoing chemotherapy, and he's been a public servant all his career, and now he's having the help of our brilliant health system and other public servants helping him. And so all of those things have been a really big part of just reminding me how great it is to have a strong public sector and how important it is. And another, I suppose, thing is that to have been a country girl, I'm from Mannum, to have been able to be working on something as important as fighting for the Murray, which I care so deeply about, in my job, has just meant that sometimes the synergies do come together. So my big self-discovery through this process is resilience. I've discovered that resilience is something that probably is my thing, and I'm hoping that I've had my share of it and that it's over now, and that I can just look back and say, yeah, I was really resilient then. So I did say that I had some final thank yous. I want to say particular thanks to my mum, my dad, my partner Rob, to my daughters Tilly and Tess, and to my brother Steve, because my life is all of their lives, and they've been with me through all of these things. So thank you all, and thank you for such a great award.